Thanks for joining us for this weekend edition of the Fox Connecticut News. I'm Audrey Kuchin. First on Fox, two accused terrorists extradited from Britain pleaded not guilty to federal charges in a New Haven courtroom today. Here's the background. They were among 5 suspected terrorists who were extradited to the U.S. in the overnight hours. All had been fighting extradition for years. The feds say they used their computers and internet skills to aid jihad fighters in the world's hotspots, providing terrorists with cash, recruits, and equipment, and were even planning an attack on the U.S. Navy. Fox Connecticut's Mike Magnoli has more on their connection to Connecticut.
According to the U.S. Attorney's Office, www.azam.com was a one-stop shop for all things terrorism. The website was published and updated in London, allegedly coordinating efforts with the Taliban and Al-Qaeda in Afghanistan and rebels in Chechnya. But the internet service provider for the site was right here in Connecticut. In 2001, shortly after 9/11, New Haven-based FBI agents began investigating. In addition to fundraising and recruiting for terrorist causes, the FBI says the website was also involved in the moving of surplus military equipment, things like gas masks and ballistic helmets. In 2006, a group of 5 suspects was identified and arrested in London, officials saying all of the men had ties to the website, and some in the group even had classified documents about American battleships. Among the group, 36-year-old Babar Ahmad, a computer specialist, and 33-year-old Saeed Hassan. Both men are British nationals, and through Britain's court system, they've been able to fight the extradition process. So for the past 6 years, they've been successful at delaying a trial. But late Friday, a British judge ruled they must be extradited to the States at once. They were flown here overnight, and Ahmad and Hassan were in New Haven's federal court at 8 a.m. sharp. Both men pleaded not guilty. They waived their right to indictments and were denied bail by the judge. They're due back in court on December 3rd, and if convicted on these terrorist-related charges, they could be sentenced to life in prison. In New Haven, Mike Magnoli, Fox, Connecticut.
Thanks, Mike. And as we mentioned, the other 3 men from the suspected terrorist group were in federal court in New York City. Egypt-born al-Masri was one of the highest-profile radical Islamic figures in Britain. The radical cleric is accused in the kidnapping of 16 Westerners in Yemen and conspiring with others to establish a training camp for Islamic militants.